Hi, I'm Katie at the Fabric Squirrel, and today I'm going to talk to you about tablecloths. Bear with me. I made this top that I'm wearing out of a tablecloth, and I just want to talk to you today about just using other fabric that you wouldn't necessarily consider dressmaking fabric. I've already talked to you about quilting cotton, I've already talked to you about quilt panels, so it seemed like a natural progression to tell you about my favourite top that I've made this year. I'll give you a bit of a background on the tablecloth first. So we lost my nan a few years ago to dementia. So she went into a home for a little bit first as well. And when we were sorting out all her things, this tablecloth came up and nobody wanted it. And I was like, well, it's really beautiful. I don't think I'll ever use it as a tablecloth, but I'm not going to let something like that just go into just bin bags. We don't actually know the history of this top. I thought that maybe, or my mum thought maybe, that it was a great grandparent that had embroidered it, because it's all definitely hand embroidered. But then my auntie said she might have picked it up when she was travelling and given it her as a gift. Well, none of us remember ever seeing it in use, but it definitely has been used because there is the odd tea stain in it, which doesn't bother me. I did make some slight alterations to minimise how obvious they are, which I'll go through at the end. So I saved it and I forgot all about it. So when I was looking for something else in one of our drawers in our house earlier in the year, I came across it. And you know when you see something with whole new eyes, and I just knew instantly that I needed to make a top out of it. So I then spent some time looking for a pattern, and I came across a pattern by Tina's Closet, and it was called the Connie V-neck. And it was a free PDF download. So I'll leave the link to that here as well. And I just knew that that would be the perfect pattern for this top. I will talk you through some of the process bits, and I'll run some of the bits here alongside me. It was a PDF pattern, so I then had to print it, cut it, stick it, do all the usual things with it. Which is my least favourite thing. I do like buying a proper pattern because that process is my least favourite of dressmaking. I don't know about you, but then it does open up a whole new world of patterns. So, and it was free, so I cannot complain. So I sat and cut out the pattern first, and then I spent the longest time trying to work out the pattern placement. I didn't actually measure the tablecloth, although you could see it in the image of it when it was on my table. So I knew it was a good size and it would probably work. I think I spent about an hour doing different combinations of where I could put the patterns, because once it was cut, that was it. And because there was embroidery on it, I knew that I had to just make the most of it. When I was placing the pattern pieces, I wanted to make sure that I didn't have to do any hems if at all possible, because you can see that the hems are actually really detailed and pretty as well. So I made the sleeves slightly longer so that I could not have to hem them and I could just use the bottom, and I did the same along the bottom as well. The only bit that there was one pattern piece basically that I couldn't fit in, and that one I made the very bottom back piece, which I'll turn around so you can see. So you can see it was here, but because I had some tiny offcuts that had lots of embroidery detail on it still, I just decided to piece those together and use that to make up the bottom piece, which made me happy because it meant there was embroidery pieces that were not wasted. And I actually don't think I think it just makes it look part of the top and just keeps a bit more of the history of it. So that I was actually it was an accidental thing that ended up being, I think, a plus as well. So that worked out well. When I cut the pattern pieces, I overlocked all the raw edges that had embroidery on it because I didn't want any of it to come unravelled. So as soon as I cut them, I ran it through the overlocker because I was quite conscious of that. I didn't want anything unravelling. Other small details that I was really pleased with how they worked out with were the neckline. So you might be able to tell that I used the hem of the tablecloth around the neckline as well. Well, this was actually the corner of the tablecloth, and I just placed it on top I'll see if it makes more sense on the video. So I didn't very much follow the pattern. I just used the pattern pieces and put it together how it worked best for how I'd cut it out. So that was, for me, is genius, because I hate doing the things like this and having to join them. So the fact that it was already a mited perfect corner couldn't go wrong. The only other slight change that I made to the top was I added some elastic, and I literally, I can probably show you, just stretched some elastic on the inside of the sleeves, because I knew that too flouncier sleeves are not very practical when you're washing up and you've got 2 children. So I can at least pull these a bit out of the way and then stay out the way. But also there was a stain around the sleeve, and with the gathers I think it makes it a lot less obvious. This is tablecloth top number 1. You might have noticed the one that's next to me. This is tablecloth top number 2. In fact, I think this one came first. Both of them were this year anyway. So this was my nan's, my mum's mum, and this tablecloth belonged to my grandma, my dad's mum. And this was all, so this one I do remember because it was always on like a set of drawers in the spare room. When my granddad moved into a home and they were clearing his house, my dad brought round some, I think it was glasses or egg cups or something, and to keep them safe he just wrapped them in whatever was free, and it was wrapped in this. And I instantly knew then, I was like, I'm going to turn that into a top. No one's going to want that as a tablecloth in the family. So I did check with family before I started cutting into things. And this one was really easy. So I will show you how I did this, because I didn't use a pattern for it. The size of the cloth just was perfect, top size anyway. So I just folded it in half, cut out a hole for my head, and at first I just cut rectangles out for the sleeves. Tried it on, didn't look quite right, so then I turned them into triangles and did it that way instead. I've overlocked, well, I sewn it and then I've overlocked to finish the edges. I obviously just used the scalloped edge of the actual thing, so it was done so quickly. The only thing I haven't done is anything really with the neckline. I couldn't find a binding or anything that I thought worked and did it justice. I just didn't want to mess with it too much. So what I've done is just top stitched it, just a straight stitch to help keep it together a little bit. But I don't wash it every time I wear it, and I will hand wash it just because I know it's delicate, and I'm really careful about how I store it as well. I don't hang it on a coat hanger. I'll keep it folded. But yeah, I've worn this loads in the summer. We do a lot of festivals, so it's a really good festival top. But then just with a regular vest top underneath, I've worn it loads as well. I didn't mean this video to sound morbid, but you do get to a certain age and you start losing all your grandparents. But for me, being able to keep elements of them alive in everything that we do is really important. So I've got elements of all my grandparents in my sewing room, and maybe I'll do a separate video on that. But we lost Dan's grandma as well this year. His mum gave me this and said, oh, I know you've made a lot of tablecloth tops this year. I don't know if this is any good to you. So she gave me this one. And I haven't obviously done anything yet. My initial thought was I might get a denim jacket and then just try and put this on the back panel of the denim jacket, and that would look quite cool. But when I was putting this video together, I wondered maybe if I could incorporate it into another top and use it as just sleeves in something else that I make. But I'd obviously have to find the right pattern and the right fabric for it to go with. So I'm not going to rush into anything. I know that it's there. I know that it's there when all of a sudden that inspiration comes to me. But if you have any other ideas, then let me know. And if you know that you've got stuff like this lying around that never gets used, and you feel like, actually, I can breathe new life into that, I'd love to hear if I have inspired you. And please share your pictures with me as well if any of my videos have inspired you to do some sewing that you might not normally have done. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to subscribe to my videos, and I will keep them coming, and I will keep the inspiration coming too.